Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here on the west coast of Canada. I hope everybody is having a superb weekend. Today, students, we are looking at IELTS speaking in this class and the next. This class is a members chat class. The next class will be an all chat class. In this class, we're looking at speaking part 2, focusing on a cue card topic that's going to be about a place to learn. Welcome, Amu. Hi, Amrit. Good to see members joining in. This lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we've got loads of materials to help you improve and pass your next IELTS exam. I'll show you what those websites look like real quick so you know where you're going. This is our academic website here. In just a second, I'll bring it up for you. So this is our general one here. This is our academic one here. And you can click this big red button. I've become kind of like a ghost here, but that's all good. So you can click this big red button that's just above my head here to join our premium IELTS package. It's a one-time payment for lifetime access. And you can see we're an official IELTS test registration center and certified agents. So you're in great hands with us. And when you click that Join Now button, you can use our latest discount code that's with our newest video release. Click Use Coupon Code and type in it's Ultimate 9, but we got another one. I think it's Perfect 9. That's an even better discount code, Perfect 9, and you will get a 20% discount. Okay. Amrit, it's the camera is a headache with this chroma key, I know, but as soon as I switch back to the other background, you're going to see me become a lot darker. So you're going to see that. Okay, this is the general IELTS one here, everyone, with the green background. And again, you can click that big red button to join our premium IELTS package there. So make sure to check it out and begin learning for success with those websites. Students, Ultimate 9 for that 25% discount. That was the right idea there. For apps, get our apps, definitely. It's a good idea. Academic IELTS Help, General IELTS Help from your app store. Hello, Rashika. Nice to have you join the class. And then, of course, Instagram. That's where you can see our schedules for these live classes, IELTS_AEHelp and GIELTS Help. And then if you have questions, you can send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. Okay, again, just an important reminder, everybody. The changes to these live classes, there's no class on Wednesdays anymore, but we have longer classes on Thursdays and Saturdays, so definitely check that out. All right. And then here's our schedule for the next week. So you're going to see that we have no class 10th to the 13th, but we've got classes 14th, 15th, and 16th. So today, again, right now, we're looking at IELTS speaking part 2, which is the long part. It's the cue card for the speaking section interview. Again, to those of you who are unfamiliar with the speaking section, it has 3 parts. Part 1, it's about 4 or 5 minutes. Questions about you, your life, on a general topic, hobbies, your interests, whether you work or study. And then part 2, the examiner will give you some questions on a specific idea, okay? In this case, we're talking about a place that is good for learning, okay? And then you have to figure out what the place is. Okay, so step number one is always to really pay just close attention to the cue card. So what is this place? What can people learn there? Okay, when is the best time to go there? And how can this place be even better? You really have to focus your answer and structure it well. And you have 1 minute to review, think about your ideas, and then 1 to 2 minutes to come up with your answer, or one to 2 minutes to say your answer, I should say. Okay. Now, whether you get to speak for 60 seconds or 120 seconds depends on your fluency and depends on the quality of your answer. So, Amu, Amrit, Rashika, what do you do as your first step when the examiner shows you your cue card question? What should you do? So what is step number one? Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to see while you're giving me... Yeah, so Saeed is in the class as well. Saeed says, understand the question. Right, and there are a couple of steps to do while you're thinking to understand the question. So Rashika cleverly says, well, to understand the question, you have to read the topic twice. Yeah, I agree. So read the topic twice. Let me try to... I'm just gonna do a little bit of trickery here. Ooh. To try to get a little bit of a better chroma key going. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. I'll play around with it a bit more. Now I've got really red lips. Okay. So here. All right. Yeah. Read the question twice. That's definitely your first step. Okay, so don't rush, all right? It's not the reading section. You shouldn't be rushing. You shouldn't be rushing in the reading section either. So let's read it again. Talk about a place that is good for learning. What is this place? What can people learn there? When is the best time to go there? How can this place be even better? Okay, and again, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. Okay. Saeed, I see that you said you passed your exam yesterday and you're looking forward to your result. That's awesome. Saeed, make sure to share that with us. Okay, and then the second step to understand the question, right, is to identify the topic. So what are you really talking about here? Okay. All right. And Cassandra just finished their exam too. By the way, just for fun, since Saeed and Cassandra are saying they just finished their exams, I'm curious, what was your part 2 topic? Okay, so let's see if we can figure this out. Saeed, what was your question? Let's see if you remember it. If you read the question twice and you identified the topic, hopefully you still remember, Saeed, what it was about. Cassandra, same question. If you read that cue card topic twice and then you thought about the topic, you should hopefully remember it. And by the way, as students, just by knowing what Cassandra's topic was and what Saeed's topic was is not really going to help you because they always come up with new questions. So I'm sure you'll get a different question next week than Saeed and Cassandra got, but it'd be interesting to know. Okay, so Saeed says his was describe your favorite famous person. Interesting. All right, and Cassandra says describe an occasion when you received a special cake. Of course, the first thought would be birthday, but if you're married, then wedding might be better, or if maybe you graduated university and you got a nice cake for that, that could have been a better choice. Again, just out of curiosity, so I'm kind of excited to see some of our members who have just finished their IELTS exams and what their experience was here. So we'll get into it maybe a bit more at the end of the lesson. But Saeed, just one more question, and same Cassandra. What did you choose for your answer? So what was your choice? Who was the favorite famous person that you talked about? Okay, and I see Amrit, I'm guessing that was yours. Okay, so Saeed says Elon Musk. Okay, that's a pretty interesting choice. All right, with a laugh. Okay, and Amrit, your question was describe a time when you waited for someone for a long time. Ooh, that sounds like maybe the most difficult out of the three that I've seen so far. Okay. And Cass, what was your special occasion when you received a cake? Yeah, birthday. It's kind of that's the one that comes to mind first. I mean, I think you probably did a good job, Cassandra. So 30th birthday cake. Okay, what I like about this though, Cassandra, I think what you did really good there is you didn't just say birthday cake, but you said for a special birthday. 30th is usually a big birthday. That's when we're well into adulthood. So I think that was clever of you to choose the 30th birthday cake. Okay. All right, very good. So let's get back to our cue card here for the day, and then we can talk more about this at the end of class. Again, this class is now 90 minutes. So we'll have lots of time for learning. So here, one more time, just to refocus ourselves, talk about a place that is good for learning. What is this place? What can people learn there? When is the best time to go there? How can this place be even better? What's the topic of this place? So we want to identify the topic. What is the topic? So what are we talking about here? Okay. And hopefully all of you will realize that it's a good place to learn. Yeah, maybe not the best place, Saeed. It doesn't have to be the ultimate, but it has to be a good place to learn, a good place for learning. Okay. All right. So good place to learn. Yep, that's our topic. The tense is present tense, right? So identifying the tense, present tense. So using present perfect, present progressive. All right. And the category here is a place. It's a location. So when we talk about a location, when we talk about a place, what should we discuss? So what should we talk about when we talk about a place? I'm going to try to get the camera a little bit better for us, just a tiny touch. Hopefully I can. It's a bit of playing around. Okay. All right, that's a bit better, I think, right? Okay. Yeah, chroma keying is not always easy. Good morning, Ken. Nice of you to join in. Okay, so when you're talking about a place, you want to talk about its location. Yeah, exactly. First, we want to know where is it. Yeah. So, Saeed, instead of questions, think about statements. Like instead of thinking where is it situated, think about location. So keep it simple, right? Rashika says we want to explain its appearance. Yeah, so what does it look like? What does this place? Places are very physical, right? We want to picture them. We want to visualize them. Rashika says we can talk about its history. Sure. So when was it established? Who established it, right? We want to talk about the attendees. I don't see too many people saying that, but we want to know. Yeah, okay, Cass just said it. We want to know who goes there, right? Who are the people that go to this place? Okay, that's the attendees. And Saeed says stuff. Staff. Yeah. So the attendees. Yeah, Cass, absolutely the activities. So what happens there, right? Okay. And then the significance or the experience, Rashika, that's right. Okay. So what does this place mean for you? What does it mean for the people, right? So that's what you want to talk about. Okay. Now, you realize this. So, okay, you're talking about a good place to learn. You're talking in present perfect, progressive. You want to talk about its location, its appearance, maybe a little bit about its history if possible. Who goes there, activities, significance. Okay, so let's do a bit of this. Let's think of some ideas. Okay, this is step number 3, is think of 2 to 3 good ideas that are original, easy to talk about, okay, and lots of information. Okay, so let me guide you here a little bit. Okay, so let's say we've got the library. It's okay, but too many people will choose this. Okay, let's say your bedroom. Okay. Okay, but not too much information. All right. Okay. Saeed says learning center. Yes, this is very good. Okay. And you want to be specific. Okay. So learning center in high school or in college. Okay. All right. Yeah, a learning center could be a very good one, Saeed. Absolutely. Or a study center is another way to say it, right? Okay, let's see. Museum, zoo, Cass, vocational center would be like a study center. Yep. Driving school, yeah, that could be a good one too, Cassandra, absolutely. Okay. All right. Ken, school or university would be too general. So let's go with this one. Let's go with learning center. All right. Okay, so now we want to go through step 4, which is useful notes. Okay. So first of all is location. Now you wouldn't write location in your notes, you just remember it. If you want to, you could write the letter L to remind yourself that you're writing about the location. So give me the location of the study center at school. Let's see your notes. I'm going to write my own. It doesn't matter. This is for practice, okay? But the key here is your notes should be specific and not obvious. So you shouldn't write down something like study center at college, okay? That's your topic. You're gonna say that, okay? So maybe something instead like next to student union building, okay? You could say north part of university. Okay, those could be useful notes that help you to give further clarification of where the study center is. Often study centers in universities are, I don't know why, but I find they're often in the basement or below ground. Okay, maybe because it's quiet. I don't know, could be. So, okay, so basement level. Okay. All right, so those would be my notes for the location. The college that I attended, it's called Camosun College. Camosun College. Okay. In Victoria. So that was where I went to college, and they had a study center, and it was in one of the buildings, and it was at basement level. Okay. Wouldn't be university in that case. Okay, so that would be the location. All right. Now, the description, what it looks like, right? The appearance. So here I would just write A for appearance in my notes, okay, to remind me. And this is where you basically have your structure as well. So you know, okay, I have to talk about location, then I have to talk about appearance, then I have to talk about the attendees, then I have to talk about, and the whole time you're keeping the cue card in mind. So the whole time you're keeping all of this in mind, especially keeping in mind the good place for learning. So this part of it here, the good place for learning, right? Okay. And Saeed says pretty close to home, but Saeed, you wouldn't write that in your notes. So Saeed, if you wanted to say pretty close to home, you should say something like 5-minute walk, okay? And all you would do is just 5-minute walk, okay? Same thing, Amrit, so be more specific, okay? Yeah, Cass, 8th floor, so 8th FL, science building. That's it, very good. Yeah, so that's specific. Okay. All right. Amu, Ken, Amrit. Maria. I'd like to see some specific notes for these points. Okay, so the appearance, what does it look like? You're just practicing your notes here, everyone. So you don't have to have the same notes as me. We don't have to have the same notes. We need to have the same quality of notes. So the same caliber of notes. Okay, appearance. Yeah, let's go 25 meters by 25 meters. So it's a square room, obviously. 25 by 25 meters. Okay, so I'm visualizing this room, and again, you have just 1 minute to prepare your answers, so you have to be quick, right? So here I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be a square room, 25 by 25, big ceilings, good light, and all of this, I'm thinking why it's a good place to learn, right? So I'm going to connect all of my notes, and you can even, if this is going to help you in part 2, you can even do like a good place to learn, okay? So remind yourself that that's what you have to keep talking about when you're using your notes, okay? They've got long desks. Comfy chairs, audio visual, okay? All right, so who goes there? So who are the attendees? So attendees, I might do like an ATT or just an AT is enough, maximizing my time, right? Okay, Ken says quiet. Yeah, when I'm thinking about basement level, Ken, that's what I'm thinking, quiet. So it's good. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Amu says the building can accommodate around 500 people. So Amu, you're really writing full sentences. That's kind of more for the next part where we're actually speaking. But for the notes, remember, these are just useful notes that we're writing right now. Try to keep it simple. Okay, so 500 peep. Okay, that's a really big study center, Amu, to hold 500 people. Okay, ventilation is good too. Yeah. That's a good one to talk about for sure. Okay. Cass says 350 square meters, chem lab, new equipment, projectors, fire extinguishers. Good. Okay, good. Those are some good details. All right. Hi, Faisal. Welcome into the class. Okay. So the attendees, students, professors, tutors, special guests, problem with classes, you'll see why I wrote that in a bit when we get into the speaking, right? So often the students who go to the study center are obviously students who are having trouble in some of their classes and need some extra help. Okay, so you've got students, professors, tutors, maybe some special guests, and then a problem with classes. Okay. Cassandra says researchers. Yeah, possibly. Okay. And actually, Cassandra, I agree with you. Sometimes there are students who, for example, are doing research on learning, and they might go to the study center to do a survey or a questionnaire from the people there. Okay. All right. So those are the attendees. Okay, activities. So we can go AC for that one. The activities that happen in this study center. Okay, obviously learning, but what kind of learning? You're improving, right? Don't forget, maybe tutoring might be something to mention again. Okay, extra help. Okay, counseling. Okay, maybe you're getting some extra encouragement to do better in your class. Peer support, right? You're learning together with other students as well. Okay. All subjects. Let's say that this study center can help you with whatever subject you're taking in school. You just have to go at the right time, right? So lots of information there. Okay, all right, visualize this, students. If you haven't been to university or college yet, this might be a little bit difficult, but I think the study centers in high schools are kind of similar as well. Okay, so if you're talking about the study center in high school, then that could also work, right? Like that. All right, so there we go. Now, we want to talk about the experience, right? So activities and the experience, okay? Better GPA. Maybe you meet some new friends while you're there, okay? One-on-one help, right? You're getting one-on-one help, so it's more direct, it's better. Okay. All right. Knowledge. Okay, maybe because of the study center you pass your grades, or I pass my classes, I get good grades, and then I am happy, right? Okay. All right. So we've got lots of information here. Now, you're thinking, okay, wow, really, can we do all that? But yes, you can. So you can do all this in 1 minute. Okay. So in 1 minute, basically, when you're in the real IELTS exam, you can do this. So let's say that the examiner says, okay, I'm going to show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to review these questions, and then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. Talk about a place that is good for learning. And then your 1 minute preparation time begins now. And you look at the clock right now. For me, it's 6:02:30 in the morning, and then you read it twice. Talk about a place that is good for learning. What is this place? What can people learn there? When is the best time to go there? How can this place be even better? Talk about a place that is good for learning. What is this place? What can people learn there? When is the best time? Okay, so I need to talk about the location. So I type this down. It takes me a few seconds. Then I need to talk about the appearance. I type this down. It takes me a few seconds. Then I need to talk about the attendees. I think about it. I write this down. So as long as you're kind of going nice and steady and you know what you're doing because you practiced before the IELTS, and you know that when you're talking about a place or a building, a landmark, these are the points you have to cover, then you've got lots of time. And you even have time for that first sentence. So a place that is excellent for learning in my life is the study center at my college. Okay. So then the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. And that 1 minute preparation time just ended for me about 10 seconds ago. Okay. So notice that with all that talking, if I'm actually really focused and I know what I'm doing, of course, thoughts are very fast. As long as you're confident and you're not stressed, you can do this. Okay. So you can come up with a lot of great content in 1 minute. It's 60 seconds. Okay. And that's exactly what you need to do before your 1 minute is up. Okay, the two most important steps, in my opinion, one is to find a good idea to talk about, okay, such as a study center, which is a good place for learning. And then the second really important step that you do not want to ignore is to come up with your first sentence. So first sentence, that's step number 5 usually, I think. So think about your first sentence using the topic question. Okay. And in this case, it was a good place for learning. So a place that is excellent for learning in my life is the study center at my college. All right, so that's my first sentence. Students, come up with your first sentences. I'd like to see them, okay, because it's super important. And while you're coming up with the first sentences, I have a question. Since we're on this topic, Cassandra and Saeed, did you think about your first sentence before your 1 minute preparation time was up in your recent exam? Okay, so in the exam that you just had in the past few days, when you were in part 2, did you think about that sentence? So, Cassandra, you said that your response was about your 30th birthday cake, right? And Saeed, you said that your favorite famous person, I love how they ask you a question that's a tongue twister. What's your favorite famous person? Elon Musk, right? I'm curious what your first sentence was, if you thought about that. Okay. So, and everybody else, come up with a first sentence for a place that's good for learning. Okay. So Cassandra says, definitely, I applied your advice. My guess, Cassandra, is you maybe came up with a sentence something like, a time when I received cake for a very special event was for my 30th birthday party. Okay, so your first sentence would have been something like that, right? And for you, Saeed, your sentence should have been like a world-renowned individual who I'm extremely fond of is Elon Musk. So something like that, right? Okay. That should have been something like that. So something that answered that question clearly, okay? In our case, my first sentence is, a place that is excellent for learning in my life is the study center at my college. Okay, that would be my first sentence. So that when the examiner says, okay, Adrian, your 1 minute preparation time is up, please begin speaking, then I can right away say, a place that is excellent for learning in my life is the study center at my college. Okay. Currently, I'm attending Camosun College, and there is a great learning center located next to the Student Union building on the northwest part of the campus. Okay, how am I coming up with that so fast? Well, I have my notes here, right? So where is it located? So here's the location, and I said Student Union building, northwest part of school. I haven't said basement level yet. I haven't said that piece of information. Okay. It is 1 floor down in the basement of the Juliet building, which is good in the sense that the space is very quiet. Okay, basement level places are very quiet. Welcome, new member, Krishna Food PVT Limited. Okay, nice to have you join up, Krishna. Send me an email so I can hook you up with your perks, okay? All right. So now I have that basement level. Now I want to write about the appearance. So what does it look like? Okay, so this is a square room, roughly 25 by 25 meters. It has about a dozen long tables where students can sit next to each other and opposite to each other. The tables and chairs are organized in a way that promotes interaction so that peers can help to help one another with their homework. Okay, so again, I'm always connecting back to that idea that it's good for learning. Okay, so right now I'm talking about the notes here, which is the appearance. Okay, this 25 by 25. Okay, and again, I'm always thinking about it's good for learning. It's good for learning, right? Okay, hi Parash. And I see your exam is on the 21st of April. Okay, very nice. Okay, welcome Parash. I will do my best to help you for your 21st April exam. Ken says it is located strategically in the heart of the campus. It's a very spacious, air-conditioned, and comfortable room with lots of long tables and cozy chairs, which makes it more conducive to learning. Yeah, Ken, very nice. That's actually the word I was looking for, is conducive for learning. Conducive means that it promotes learning. Very nice. Okay. All right. The room has high ceilings, excellent ventilation, and good lighting, which makes it conducive for long periods of study without getting fatigued. Okay, fatigue means getting exhausted or tired, right? Pay attention to vocabulary. Yeah, very nice. So again, always thinking about that topic. If you want to get a great band score, like a band 8 or a band 9 in part 2, you have to keep in mind the concept of it's a good place for learning. You always want to connect every idea. You want to always circle back to that, okay? All right, Cass, you remembered your first sentence. A time when I received a special cake for a memorable event was my 30th birthday, something like that. That works, Cassandra, for that question that you had on your exam. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So the room has high ceilings, excellent ventilation, and good lighting, which makes it conducive for long periods of study without getting fatigued. So I'm going through the appearance, and anytime that I feel like I'm stuck, I just kind of take a look at my notes, and then I can keep going. So if I were to look at my notes right now, I would look at audio, visual, and computers. Okay. So the room is equipped with modern technology, such as touchscreen displays and projectors to enable students and tutors to learn effectively. Okay, there you go. So everything can be tied back to that topic. Okay, now I'm on to the attendees. All right, so the Learning Center is open from 6 a.m. until midnight, and several hundred students visit there each day to catch up on their studies. There are always tutors available to help. And there is a schedule for special guest presenters for different subjects like math and English. Okay? All right, so that's how we do it. Now, once you're really on a roll and you're realizing like, hey, I'm doing a great job, I'm knocking this out of the park, I'm really talking about a great place to learn, don't forget your grammar. So start thinking about, okay, am I showing grammar range? Am I showing present perfect? Am I showing conditional? So this is where you might want to throw in a little bit of grammar just to boost that grammar score as well, because you're realizing, okay, I'm answering the question. The most important is that you answer the question, even if you're using simpler grammar to do it. But once you realize that you're doing a good job, you might want to throw in something like a conditional. So If I miss a class or I'm confused about a topic, I can easily find the right person at this learning center to shed light on the information. Okay, notice I even threw an idiom in there, shed light. Okay, means to clarify the information. Okay, so throwing in that complex grammar. In fact, I have been visiting this learning center at least once a week over the last year. Okay, so notice that I threw in a present perfect as well, right? So think grammar. Maybe don't force the grammar at the very beginning, because if you're really focusing on grammar at the start of your response, you might lose focus on the more important part, which is the content. So what you're actually saying, that's always the most important. Content is king, everyone. So what you say is more important than how you say it. But once you start to do a good job of content, so you have, good information, then you definitely want to also pay attention to how you're saying it as well, so that you can pick up those points. Is everybody clear on that? So that was kind of an important tip or trick or strategy, if you will, where basically, so this is the strategy here. Okay, so focus on content first, always. Okay, and then once you have content, okay, pay attention to using complex grammar as well. All right? Thumbs up, everyone. Is that clear? Yes? Okay. So that's the way to do it. All right. Now, another important tip is always check the card and make sure to answer all of the questions within the first 90 seconds. Okay? So we're talking about a place, we want to talk about attendees' experience, but very importantly, we definitely want to answer all the questions on the card. Have we done that yet? Okay? Have we done that yet? Oh yeah, Maria, you can definitely say that much in 2 minutes. You can time me, Maria, when we when I finish this response, you can time me and see if it fits in the 2 minutes or not. If you're fluent, if you're a band 8, band 9, you can fit a lot of content into 2 minutes if you're not repeating yourself. Absolutely. And I'll show you that, Maria. You can time me, and I won't rush. I promise you that I will speak at a normal pace, okay? So, have I answered all the questions on my cue card? Your answer should be no, you haven't. Notice this question here. When is the best time to go there? Okay. And how can this place be even better? Okay. So, I'm going to focus on those 2 questions, and then maybe my time will be up after that, Maria, but I think I can still fit those in, even within the 90 seconds, actually. Here we go. In my opinion, the optimal time to visit the Learning Center is early morning at 6 a.m. because there are not a lot of people there. So it is easy to get help, and it's very quiet. I think it would be better if this learning center were at least partly above ground with some windows to let in natural light. Okay, so that's how I would answer that question there. All right, or those last two questions. So you have to answer all the questions on the cue card, otherwise you're not going to get a full mark. Okay, all right, so Maria, time us, please. Okay, I'm going to give this answer here, and let's see if this fits within 90 seconds. And then if it does, we might have some more opportunity to speak, because when somebody's speaking fluently, then the examiner will often give them the full 2 minutes for part 2. So here we go. For me, the time right now is 6:23:50. A place that is excellent for learning in my life is the study center at my college. Currently, I'm attending Camosun College, and there's a great learning center located next to the Student Union building on the northwest part of campus. It's one floor down in the basement of the Juliet building, which is good in the sense that it's a very quiet space. This is a square room, roughly 25 by 25 meters. It has about a dozen long tables where students can sit next to each other and opposite to each other. The tables and chairs are organized in a way that promotes interaction so that peers can help one another with their homework. The room has high ceilings, excellent ventilation, and good lighting, which makes it conducive for long periods of study without getting fatigued. The room is equipped with modern technologies such as touchscreen displays and projectors to enable the learners and the students and the tutors to learn effectively. The Learning Center is open from 6 a.m. until midnight, and several hundred students visit there each day to catch up on their studies. There are always tutors available to help, and there's a schedule for special guest presenters for subjects like math and English. If I miss a class or I'm confused about a topic, I can easily find the right person at this learning center to shed light on the information. In fact, I've been visiting this learning center at least once a week over the last year. In my opinion, the optimal time to visit the Learning Center is early morning at 6 a.m. because there are not a lot of people there, so it's easy to get help and it's very quiet. I think it would be better, though, if the center were at least partly above ground with some windows to let in natural light. That was within 2 minutes, right? Okay. According to my timing, I still had about 10-15 seconds. So even if I had to stop once or twice and look at my notes that in that 10 to 15 seconds, I should have been okay. All right? I should have been okay. All right? Yeah, so Amu said about 15 seconds left. Yeah, and Amu, that goes back to Amrit's question. So if you're not as fluent, if you kind of get stuck, and you have to check the cue card or check the notes, which you should do, then that's about the 10 to 15 seconds extra time that you have. And I guarantee the examiner will not stop you when you have this kind of information. They'll let you speak for the whole 2 minutes. Okay? Right? So you can get a lot of information out as long as you're fluent. Okay? Now, remember, everyone, I am showing you a band 9 here. So if I speak slower and I miss information, if I get stuck, then yeah, of course, I'm limited, so I can say less information, and that 1 to 2 minutes, but then I'm also not going for that band 9. I'm going for a band 8 or a band 7, and that's fine. You have to be realistic. So you have to know what you can and cannot accomplish in the 2 minutes. Okay. All right. So that's how you do it, everyone. That's the way that you answer this question. And now I want to give you a chance, members, to practice this with me. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so we've got that new video on our channel that we just released a couple hours ago with this discount code Ultimate 9 for speaking. Check out the part 2 on that video as well. I'm not sure if here, let me see if I can show you that. I think I can, because it's great for part 2. So let me show you that before we start practicing for part 2. Okay, it's a brand new speaking video. And while we do that, you can start logging in to the website. Okay, so let me see. Let's do a, here we go. All right, so there we go. Okay, and there you can see yourselves in the chat as well. So here, this video is with a candidate from India who does an amazing job.
Welcome to the speaking section of the IELTS exam. My name is Adrian. I will be your examiner.
I just want to show you something here.
I'm recording this for clerical purposes.
Part 2.
This is candidate number 95347.
Really good video, by the way. Lots of great tips here. It's a full speaking video with part 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so
Jalil, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, so I want to show you this. I'm not just like trying to get everybody to watch this video, but there's something important that I want to show you here. Okay, you can see your chat there.
Access. Now, part 2.
Okay, so in this video, the part 2 cue card is talk about a person you were nervous to meet. And then here in this video, watch what she does. So when I tell her that her 1 minute preparation time is up, watch what she does. And this is kind of the right reaction to have when you're doing a speaking part 2. So notice her body language and her confidence here. This is the reason I'm showing you this, okay?
Jalil, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
So notice how she just kind of sits up, puts her hands in front of her self, takes a breath, and then answers the question directly using that first sentence. So she's actually looking at her notes to reference that first sentence for the answer.
About a year ago, I had a chance to briefly meet with Anamika Khanna, who is one of the most well-known fashion designers in India. And I remember being super nervous, as she has been one of my idols and inspirations since my teenage years.
And notice how, again, she uses that cue card question, a person that you were nervous to meet, very right away. So in the very beginning, she says, I remember being super nervous, as she has been one of my idols. So she very clearly tackles that question, okay? So again, check out this video when you have a chance. There's a lot of really great tips for part 2 as well as part 1 and 3, and we just released it. In my opinion, it's probably our best speaking video so far. So check that out, okay? All right, let me get back to our syllabus here, and we're going to do some volunteering. for our part 2 question today. Okay, so to volunteer for speaking, okay, go to aehelp.com. So go to our website and then go to your My Student account. Go to Student Partner Speaking. I think most of our members know what to do here. This is really important for new members though. And we did have Parash join us. So Parash, you can now practice part 2 speaking with me in just a moment. So again, go to aehelp.com. That is right. Well, you could do it with General IELTS too, but go to aehelp.com. Create an account through the My Student account login there, or you can click on the Join Now or Try Demo. And then in your My Student account, you can click on this Student Partner Speaking. That's just right there, right above my head. Click on that Student Partner Speaking. Accept that you will be responsible for your words, and then you get into this speaking interface. And I see that we've got lots of people in here already. Maki, Yosra, Bharat, Amrit. And that's great. And I can see that I think Amrit is already volunteering. Ken, our member. I'm looking for members, especially in this class, everyone. Maria's in here. Ken is in here. So you get to practice your part 2. We've got 30 minutes for this, members. We've got 30 minutes for practice and for questions and answers about part 2 of the IELTS speaking section. So let's do this. Okay. I think Amrit is ready, so let's see. Sure. Are you ready? Okay, Amrit, give me an answer and then I will call you. Okay, awesome.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you clearly, Amrit. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. What about you?
I'm doing pretty good as well. Thanks for asking. I had a good night's sleep, so I've got lots of energy, and that's always good.
Okay.
I'm starting to think sleep is the most important part of life.
Yes, sir.
And it's very important for IELTS as well. So if I had one wish for all of the candidates and people I'm helping around the world, it would be that they get really good sleep the night before their IELTS exam. Okay.
Yes, sir. And even, sir, in India, there are lots of students spend a lot of time to studying IELTS, like 10 or 12 hours. I think it's not a good idea.
No, it's not. You're right. It's not a good idea to exhaust the brain before the IELTS exam. I always tell people, like you can't really do too much the day before the IELTS exam. So what's most important is that you get good sleep and you get good food and lots of water.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Amrit, so part 2, we're dealing with this cue card, talk about a place that is good for learning. It's coming up here on my screen. So if you want, you can use the same idea that we practiced in the class about the learning center or study center. If you want to try a different idea, up to you. I'll leave that decision to you. I'm going to read the question for you and then I'll start you off, okay?
Okay, sir.
All right. So talk about a place that is good for learning. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
A place that is excellent for learning in my life is Study Center, which is located in Tantan City. This is only 5-minute walk from my home. Nowadays, I have been studying in Bachelor of Arts for the past 2 years. So when I face some problems in my study, I prefer to go there to get help from my friends or teachers. This study center looks like very beautiful and roughly 25 by 25 meters. And it has a dozen long tables available for students to concentrate more in study. The tables and chairs are organized in a way that students, professors, and make more focus on their study or research. The learning center open from 7 a.m. until midnight, and a lots of students visit there each day to catch up with the study. And even there are lots of teachers are available for help the students. And I go there in the evening time at 6 p.m. when I free from my work. This place is a more better because of available teachers help and discuss topics with my peers, and where I can feel comfortable as well as relaxed. And even there are there are some screen displays always show some vital information.
Your time is up. I'll stop you there. And now we will continue with part 3. For this part, I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to this topic. Okay, Amrit, that was pretty good. I think that was strong. So that would be like a solid band 7.5, I would say. Okay, maybe even getting close to an 8. You had some really good structure. You made a couple of mistakes. There were some very small grammatical mistakes that were not a big deal. You had some really nice grammar. You had some really nice vocabulary. You made a couple of logic mistakes. So you said the Learning Center is open from 7 p.m. to midnight, and then you said I go there in the evening at 6 p.m. So I'm kind of like, okay, but it's closed at 6 p.m. So I think what you meant to say is 7 a.m., not 7 p.m.
Yes.
Right? So so careful with that. Do you know what your biggest mistake was?
I think I forget some questions to answer.
Right on. That's really good. You noticed what your mistake was. That's hey, that's the biggest first most important step to improving is noticing what you're actually doing wrong, and you nailed it. That's exactly what you did wrong. You missed the question. You know, the question of like, when is the best time to go there? I think you kind of answered that by saying you go there at 6 p.m. after work. It's a good time for you. So that was like a half answer. You want to be direct. So if possible, you always want to be direct. So you want to say like, the best time for people to go there, I think, is in the evenings. Because they can focus on their homework for the learning they did before on that day in their class, right? So you have to directly focus on that question. And then the last question you definitely missed. So how can this place be improved? And you didn't say anything about how this place can be improved. So you have to really make sure that you look at the cue card. It's probably the most common mistake for IELTS candidates is they only look at the cue card once and then they never look at it again. So you have to look at that cue card. Okay. All right.
I give more details of letter to question.
Yeah. So the last like 15-20 seconds of what you were saying, that was kind of unnecessary. You did a really good job in the first like 1.5 minutes. And then the last 20-30 seconds of what you were saying was almost repetitive, not really important. That's when you should have looked at the cue card and be like, oh yeah, okay, best time and how to improve it. And then answering those 2 questions, you would have had a band 8 for sure. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Amrit, otherwise really good. So one super important tip for you to improve your score on this, look at the cue card, make sure to answer all the questions, okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me a nice chance.
All right. Thanks for volunteering, Amrit. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye, sir.
Okay, so that was a really good job by Amrit. Other than missing those last couple of questions, that was really, really, really good. Okay, that's what you want to do. So it was good structure, using that information. All right, so I'm looking for more volunteers, and don't be shy. It's okay to make mistakes. We learn from our mistakes. I see that Bharat is in here, and Bharat is a member of ours as well. So let's see if we can get a hold of Bharat. Ken, Maria, I see that you're in the chat. Divya, volunteer. Okay, we've got time. All right. Let's see if Bharat is ready. Oh, you used to be a member, Bharat. So are you ready? Okay. Okay, Ken, I see that you've now sent a message as well, so hang in there, okay? I'll look for you after if Bharat is still here. Okay, Bharat says, you bet I am. All right. All right, Bharat, I'm calling you, so I'm not sure what's going on your end. Okay, I'll call you again. I can see your message. I'll try one more time. There we go. Hi, Bharat. I can hear that you picked up.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now perfectly. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Hi there. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Good morning to me. You are, okay. I think you're about 12 hours ahead of me in the day. My Saturday is just starting. So.
And my Saturday is just going to be end.
Yep, that's the way the world works. All right, so Bharat, let's do this. So same idea, part 2 question, same question. Okay, you've been following the class, and I will start you off. Give me a nice full sentence answer, and then I'll give you a score estimate, and we'll talk about the strengths and the weaknesses for your response. Okay, so let me just get to the question here so you can see it. Okay, so here we go. Part 2, IELTS speaking. Talk about a place that is good for learning. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Well, there are lots of places for learning, such as primary and secondary schools, universities, cultural library and museum. In my opinion, library is the best place to learn because of the peaceful environment. There is a library, Future-Born Library, which is 2 blocks away from my home. I used to be a member of that library for last 2 months. It's a 2-story building, and the capacity of student can for 3 hours is about 15 to 16, I guess. There is a bookstore there, so people can pick any book related to that what they're interested in, and other some facilities are also available for every member. I believe the best time to go there is the morning, where we can get a newspaper to read and a cup of coffee, which is free of cost. My experience was really good because I learned a lot, not just regarding to my academic background, but to the way to interact with the peoples and having a debate conversation after 9 p.m. Okay, I think it will be better.
Yeah, your time is up. I'm going to stop you there.
Yeah.
So now I will ask you some questions. Yeah, that last question, right? That's why I always tell students that you have to get to that last question in the first 90 seconds. And then if you still have time, then you can talk more about the free coffee and newspaper in the morning. Okay, so that would be like a solid band 6, and I want to say 6.5, but I don't think so. I don't think examiners will give you the 6.5. I think they'll give you a 6. And you know, it's really strange because you're speaking just as well as Amrit. Okay, so your speaking was just as good as Amrit. You both missed that last question. But there was one big difference between your answer and Amrit's answer. Do you know what that was? And let me say this first. So your grammar, your vocabulary, your fluency was equal to Amrit's level of grammar, fluency, pronunciation. What do you think was different? Why would he get a 7, 7.5, and why would you get only a 6, 6.5? Why that clear one band difference?
I think I was not answering to the point.
That's exactly it. Yeah. So it's just like I said with Amrit, that's excellent. You identified your main mistake, right? The big difference is that Amrit tackled the question right away. So he said, a great place to go for learning is the Learning Center at my school, actually, I still remember clearly, he said 5 minutes walk from my house in my city. So he answered that specific question. IELTS examiners do not like it when students give this template beginning to their Part 2 response. And it's definitely a template. I think it's maybe from some YouTube videos or some online learning or some online websites where they tell you to say like, there are many places to do this, or there are many people, and then list some of them and then start focusing on the one that you talk about. It's not a good idea. IELTS doesn't like that because it's like time wasting. It's like trying to fill space with information. And you said, well, there are lots of places for learning, such as primary and secondary schools, university. And it seems like it sounds good, but it's not, because it's not the question.
It's not well worthy.
Yeah, it's like every student. So band 5 level students can say that, band 9 level students can say that. So why should I give you a 9 if a band 5 can do the if a band 5 can do the same, right? So so you have to start with, in my opinion, the best place to learn is the library near my home. So if you would have started that way, and then what happens is you can give better information and you have more time. You can answer that last question too, right? So instead of all of that beginning introduction, if you had answered that last question in that time, that the library could be even better if it had more modern equipment, more modern computers. The computers are really old, they always freeze. So if you would have said that instead of that first couple sentences, I could have given you a band 7.5. You see what I mean?
Yeah, even like I'm also part of my library, but there is no like computer facility there, so I couldn't able to imagine that.
Yeah,
but I can make up.
Yeah, exactly. You can make it up. Well, that's what you can say. You can say like, this library has no computer facility, and one way it could be better is to have computers, so people not only have physical books but can also do research online. And then I can give you way more band scores than if you tell me there are lots of good places to learn, like universities and schools. I know that. Everybody knows that. That's not what we're asking, right? It's talking about one good place to learn for you, okay? So that's the big improvement, right? Especially when a person has good English like you. It's so sad to hear you waste that first 20, 30 seconds on irrelevant information. Okay, so be very careful in the future. Don't do that. That's my biggest advice, okay?
Okay, I'll try to like not to use these kind of sentence at the beginning. I try to come up with the answer at the starting.
Right away. And that's why remember, Bakrat, what I said is you want to have your first sentence ready. So when you're taking your notes, include your first sentence. So, and your first sentence should not be like, there are many places. So it should be like, the place where I like to learn, right?
By the way, I haven't like make any notes. I just land here.
Yeah,
I
felt that. Yeah. I felt that. I know.
Even I haven't couldn't seen the questions. What are they actually asking? I just read the topic and just, yeah.
That considered, I think you did an excellent job, Bharat. So thank you so much for volunteering. And, I think it was really valuable that you showed everybody this example of what to do and what not to do, okay? It's really important. All right, Bharat.
Thank you, by the way.
Have a great rest of your Saturday, and then have an awesome Sunday tomorrow.
You too.
Okay.
Bye for
Bharat.
now.
Bye. All right. Amrit, thank you for that super chat donation. It's so nice of you that you constantly respect the effort that we put in at our end here. Okay, so Ken, I told you I'd circle back to you. So there you are, Ken. Let me see. Yes, you can. Are you ready, Ken? Are you still there? hopefully. Okay. All right. Ken says, let's try. Remember, Ken, Master Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
Here
Ken.
we-
How are you?
Yeah, so far so good. It's
Nice.
weekend, so I'm not working.
What time are you at right now on this Saturday?
I'm just an hour ahead of you.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
okay.
on Easter side.
Right
BC.
on.
So-
Okay, all right. Okay, so Ken, let's jump over to the question here. Same thing, you can go with Study Center, or you can choose something different like what Bharat just did with the library, up to you.
Okay.
I will start you off, okay? So
Okay.
again, IELTS speaking part 2. Talk about a place that is good for learning. Your 1-minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
Okay, on top of my head, I could remember long time before when I was in the university is the College of Arts and Science Student Center. It is located right beside the dean's office. It is a medium-sized room with lots of long tables and cozy chairs that makes it conducive to learning. And the attendees of this facility are the students from the lower year, the common first years that are seeking guidance on how will they pursue their career or on the higher colleges. So the sorry, the student center provides counseling, one-on-one tutoring, and career choosing advices. So the building is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and the best time to go there is lunchtime to 1 p.m. Because that time there's not a lot of people. And the facility will be highly improved if the faculties will decide to make it bigger, so it could accommodate more students, as at times it's so crowded.
Okay, your time is up.
Yep.
And I'll stop you there. And I'll give you some feedback. All right. Okay. Ken, not bad at all. Solid 6.5 to 7.
Yep.
You did a good job of answering all the questions on
Yep.
the card. And I think that your English is definitely comparable to Bharat and Amrit. So I think that all three of you have very similar levels of vocabulary, grammar, fluency. But here, you made a little bit of a different mistake than your predecessors. Do you know what your mistake was? So can you kind of figure out where the IELTS examiner would have been picky, like blah, blah, blah. So
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of how to like coherence probably.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a coherence issue there. Where? What part of your response do you think I had that coherence issue?
I'm having hard time translating what's in my mind to describe it, kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was around the middle where
I stopped for a bit. Yeah.
where you were talking about the activities that happened there.
So
the start of it was okay. You said, off the top of my head, I can remember a long time before when I was in university, the study center. I think what you're doing is you're overcomplicating. So you're being unnecessarily truthful and you're being unnecessarily complex. So instead of saying a long time before when I was in university, you can keep it simpler. So you can say 2 years ago at my university, the study center was a great place to go for learning. So just more direct, right? More direct, a little bit clearer. And then you said it's located next to the dean's office, and that was good. And then after that is where you got into a situation. So you said the first years are seeking guidance there on how to pursue their career, and then you kind of got stuck in that loop of students going there to seek guidance for their career. So this is where you want to use your notes. And in your notes, if you have activities and you have like math, English, improved grades, then you want to create some clear, non-repetitive sentences. So first year, second year, students go there frequently to get help with their studies, especially math. A lot of students have English, difficulty with first year calculus and languages like English and Spanish. Of course, there are engineering students and biology students there as well. So just, get yourself out of that. Now, you did do a good job, I have to say. You realized suddenly that, okay, I'm in a rut. So I'm as we say in English, I'm spinning my tires. So, in a car, when the tires are just spinning and you're not going, you're spinning your tires. So you realize you're spinning your tires. And then you suddenly realized, okay, I have to look at the other questions on that card. So the building's open from 8 till 4. Best time to go is during lunch. And it could be improved with more space because it's crowded. That was really good. So that's what you want to do. Now, you can do that faster. So if you feel like you're about to repeat yourself, you're about to say that students go there for career advice again and again, look at the cards, go to the next questions, say the answers, and then you can still go back if the examiner doesn't stop you and give more information. You say, oh yeah, and of course I remember now that lots of students go there for help with different subjects, especially math and English, because that's a problem area for so many students at university. So you can circle back to the activities later. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's good. It's like a follow-up kind of thing.
If you have more time, why not, right? Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. But otherwise, not bad. Okay, Ken, thank you so much for volunteering, and I can hear in your voice that you're a bit more confident now. So it's.
Oh yeah, I think I'm losing lots of nerves already. So that's good.
Yeah, it is absolutely. One or two more times, Ken, and you'll be smooth sailing. It's the way to do it. Okay, Ken, have an awesome rest of your weekend, and we'll chat more next week. Okay, bye, Ken.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
All right, that was Ken. So that was really good. Thumbs up to Ken. That was awesome. Loved it. Okay, everybody. So let me kind of summarize what we did here. So part 2 cue card. Okay, there are some very clear steps that you have to follow. Make sure you read the card twice so you know what you're doing. Make sure to choose a good answer. That's very, very important. Have your first sentence ready. Be specific when you're talking, when you're giving your response. The examiners for high band scores, 7, 8, 9, they're looking for specific responses. Make sure to answer all the questions on the cue card. Okay, if you get stuck, go to the next idea. Talk about the people who go there. Talk about your experience of the study center. Okay, and then circle back. Students, that's it for this class, but I will be back in 30 minutes with speaking part 3. And for speaking part 3, we will continue with the topic of part 2. So places for learning. We'll be talking specific questions. I'm going to do lots of volunteering with students, so lots of practice. Remember to check out aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS, and be sure to check out our most recent IELTS video on our YouTube channel as well, the speaking video. It is super helpful for you to improve. So thank you so much for our volunteers, to Amrit, Bharat, Ken, Cass, and Saeed. Thank you for sharing your experience with us of your last IELTS exam. And thank you so much, members, for your support. Maria, Rashika, I'll be looking for you in the next class to volunteer for part 3 speaking. I'll be back in 30 minutes, half an hour, so don't go too far. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from Victoria, Canada for now. Bye.